Hollywood is collapsing in real time. And somehow, Will Smith has managed to put himself right in the center of the firestorm. The studios are panicking, fans are walking away, and now one of the biggest stars of the 2000s is being tossed around like yesterday's news. Before we break down this insane situation, don't forget to hit that subscribe button for more Woke Watch breakdowns because someone has to cut through Hollywood's nonsense, and it sure isn't going to be them. All right, everyone, welcome back to Woke Watch, and if you've been paying attention to Hollywood lately, you already know things are a disaster. It's November 16th, 2025, and the industry is basically eating itself alive. Actors, actresses, writers, directors, almost every corner of Hollywood has turned into a political soapbox. Every interview is a lecture, every Oscar speech is a campaign ad, and every red carpet moment somehow becomes a debate stage. And guess what? People are done with it. Families who used to love going to the movies are now asking themselves a simple question. Why should we spend $60 on tickets and popcorn just to support celebrities who spend all day insulting half the country? And that brings us to Will Smith, a man who has spent the last few months going more political than he has at any point in his career. This came right after his attempt at a musical comeback, the big concert tour, and his push to rebuild his acting career. None of it landed, none of it worked the way he hoped, and now the fallout is finally hitting him. The major studios have started responding not quietly, not slowly, but aggressively. Because once Will Smith started going after President Trump, Charlie Kirk, Erica Kirk, and MAGA supporters, everything changed. Hollywood likes politics when the politics benefit them, but the moment a celebrity starts dragging entire groups of paying customers, the people who fund their movies, studios, begin getting nervous. And that's exactly what just happened with Will Smith. A massive development has now surfaced. Apple Studios fired Will Smith, and not from some minor role, but from a major political thriller they had been developing. Apple wanted him to play a high-profile political lawyer caught in a dangerous cat-and-mouse thriller storyline. The movie had subtle jabs at the Trump presidency built into the script, and they clearly believed Will Smith was the perfect message guy for the role. But the problem, Will's political commentary online blew up in the worst way possible, and Apple immediately recognized the PR risk. Executives were reportedly put in a delicate position. Translation, the backlash was so intense that keeping Will Smith attached became a liability, so they dropped him, and he did not take it well. According to insiders, Will was furious, not just disappointed, but flat out enraged. He and his team have already begun a heated back and forth with Apple, claiming he's being censored for expressing his political views. But the consequences don't end with Apple. Once word spread through the studio system, and these things do spread fast, other companies started reevaluating their own partnerships with Sony, for example, had already slashed his payout for Men in Black 5, and even cut Jada Pinkett Smith entirely from the film. Sony allegedly cut multiple planned MIB sequels, trimming the franchise down to just one last movie, and even that one is hanging by a thread. On top of that, tensions between Will and Sony have quietly been building for months. People who worked with him reportedly blame not only his politics, but also the failed concert comeback and the overall negative buzz attached to his name right now. And it doesn't stop there. Paramount and Warner Brothers are now also watching this situation very closely. The long-delayed I Am Legend 2 might end up being another casualty because the studios don't want to attach franchise-level budgets to someone whose public image is spiraling. Meanwhile, Will Smith is planning to launch a politically charged podcast next year on an unnamed platform as a way to balance his acting career comeback, which, honestly, might be the worst possible route if he's trying to rebuild his reputation. Hollywood already hates political entanglements unless it fits their script, and Will choosing to double down is only reinforcing every concern studios already had. Apple firing him is just the beginning. Support for him is falling like dominoes, and every studio is calculating whether keeping him is worth the risk. And right now, the answer seems to be no. Will Smith is begging Apple to reverse their decision, but Apple appears to be completely done with him. They're moving forward with the political thriller, searching for a new lead, rewriting scenes, and delaying production by at least 6 months. And if Sony continues moving in the same direction, which, let's be real, they absolutely will, Men in Black 5 isn't just in danger, it's basically on life support. The franchise that once defined Will Smith's blockbuster identity might now end without a proper send-off. And the wild part? This isn't happening because audiences lost interest. This isn't happening because the franchise is dead. This is happening because the studios don't trust Will Smith anymore. Not financially, not publicly, and definitely not politically. And why would they? He's turned every comeback attempt into a rerun of what he used to be, instead of showing who he could become. Let's lay it out. Bad Boys nostalgia boost, Men in Black. Nostalgia boost, I Am Legend nostalgia boost. That's the entire comeback strategy. No innovation, no new franchises, no risk-taking, nothing bold, just a checklist of past glories repackaged for a modern audience that's already moved on. And the second he steps outside that safety bubble, like with Gemini Man, the whole thing collapses. That film was supposed to be his I still got it moment. Instead, it became a cautionary example that not everything needs a digital clone, and not every aging actor should rely on experimental tech to revive their career. But even that wouldn't have doomed him the way politics did. Because the moment Will Smith started choosing political drama over professional discipline, every studio executive's alarms went off. Hollywood loves political messaging as long as they control it. But when celebrities start freelancing their own views, insulting audiences, picking fights online suddenly, it's a PR wildfire, and studios hate wildfires. You can almost picture the boardroom conversations. Do we really want to attach him to a $150 million movie? What if he says something crazy again? What if the backlash overshadows the entire project? Is Will Smith worth the risk anymore? And one by one, the answers turned into no. Just look at what happened to Robert De Niro. Apple chopped him loose after his political meltdown tour in early 2024, and that guy is considered Hollywood royalty. If De Niro wasn't safe, what chance did Will Smith have after years of scandals, drama, public meltdowns, awkward interviews, and a reputation that's been shaky ever since the Oscars? Will was walking on thin ice before politics even entered the chat. But now he's stomping on that ice with steel boots. And what's even crazier is the timing Apple was giving him a chance. Sony was giving him a chance. Paramount was giving him a chance. Warner Brothers was giving him a chance. They were all trying to help him rebuild his career. But instead of focusing on the acting, the craft, the projects, the audience, Will decided to turn his comeback into a political crusade. And Hollywood doesn't reward people who embarrass their investors. Apple is officially done. Sony is irritated and frustrated. Paramount is cautiously backing away. Warner Brothers is quietly rethinking their commitment. And the fans? The fans are exhausted. People are sick of celebrities acting like their job is to preach instead of entertain. This is the consequence of turning entertainment into activism. This is the consequence of using fame as a megaphone. This is the consequence of ignoring the very audience that built your career in the first place. It's not complicated. It's not mysterious. It's not some Hollywood conspiracy. This is reality. This is accountability. This is the market saying no more. And let's be honest here, Will Smith launching a political podcast in 2026 might be the final nail in the coffin. Instead of calming things down, keeping a low profile, repairing the damage, and re-earning audience trust, he's doubling down on the very thing that's destroying his career. It's like watching a man pour gasoline on a fire and then complain about the heat. Studios have memories. Fans have memories. The internet has infinite memory. One wrong step becomes a permanent tattoo on your reputation, and Will has taken more than just one wrong step. He's been breakdancing on the landmines for the past 3 years, and here's the ironic part. Hollywood could have survived this if they didn't push politics into every movie, every award show, every interview, every advertisement, but they did. They forced it in, they normalized it, they encouraged it. And now that celebrities are getting too political, too loud, too unpredictable, too divisive, Hollywood wants to act surprised. They created the monster. The monster grew up, and now they're panicking because it's out of control. Will Smith is just the latest victim of the machine he once relied on, but he won't be the last. Mark my words, more celebrities will face this same fate. Studios are rethinking how much political drama they're willing to tolerate. And the moment an actor becomes bad for business, Hollywood cuts the cord faster than you can blink. Will Smith wanted a comeback. What he's getting instead is a wake-up call. But hey, that's Hollywood. They love you until the moment they don't. If you enjoyed this deep dive, hit that thumbs up and make sure you're subscribed to Woke Watch for more Hollywood truth bombs. We expose the nonsense, we break down the games, and we say the things Hollywood hopes you never hear. I'll see you in the next one. Bye.